Hey, what's up everyone, Morey Croson here, and today we're going to be going over some more top-end speed breakdowns. We're going to hop right into it.
This is the newest edition of the Performance Lab.
Reach your individual goals. You don't want to just talk about straight line speed. We also want to talk about your ability to be quick. We break down your video. Let's make you into the quarterback I know you can become. All right, I really enjoyed doing these just because I think it is, one, I think it's good practice for me, and I also think it's really beneficial for the viewers to be able to really see a lot more in-depth detail into what it is that we're going to be looking at when it comes to running performance and all that goes into your top speed. I think a lot of people just have the idea that if you just run hard or try hard when it comes to your running, that you'll be able to run fast. And there's a lot more that goes into the technique. And so just getting a little bit more technical understanding, I think could really lead to a lot better results. So big thing that I would say that stands out here is just not enough bend within that back leg. So we can see on the right side, for instance, we can see a good bend within that leg. I also don't love the head position. We want to be able to maintain a little bit more of a neutral head position, but then notice on the right side, we're not getting as good of a bend as quickly there. And what happens when you have such a big difference on one side to the other is one side you can really open up well, where the other side, there's just too big of a asymmetry. So every step that you're taking, you're going to take one step to speed up, another step that's going to go and speed or slow you down. And just in general, you could see that you're just not covering as much distance as you want. So I'm assuming this is 10 meters, and you really want to be able to do this in closer to 4.5 steps. Once you get into 5 steps, that gets a little bit too much there. And a big part of it that's impacting that is just your ability to create good push-offs. You're spending a little bit too much time with that foot on the ground and not getting enough quick push-off and the combination of force into the ground with also the proper amount of air time to make it so you can cover the ground more effectively. This one's just way too vertical. When you end up having too much of like this straight vertical action or really thinking too vertical, there's a combination of two things that we'll see, and this guy has both of them. One, we'll see that knee really not get too far back behind the hip, and the other thing is this foot will be too far back behind the knee at toe off. So really when this foot comes off the ground, we want to have this foot underneath the knee or potentially even past the knee. And then also we want to be able to really maximize hip extension. If we're not getting good amount of or the right type of force off of the ground, then we're going to end up not being able to achieve both those things. This one said, I think he said that he ran like 21 or 22 miles an hour based off of the time here. I don't love the arms, right? We could see that really both sides as he's pulling the hands back, we're just not getting great range of motion there. I'd like to be able to see there be more of like that hammer action within the hands as they're coming back. And also as the foot comes off the ground, it looks like we're a little bit too much into extension or sinking too much as we are landing here instead of being able to have a good straight position as we're landing. So it would be optimal as this foot's hitting the ground, we could see more of just like a straight movement within the hips and very cleanly being able to get ourselves to be able to essentially push off from that position. What's happening here is we're sinking a little bit too low of someone that has a hard time being able to create as much vertical force. There's much better horizontal force, but not great vertical force. Can accelerate probably pretty well, but can't hold top speed or struggles at holding top speed. This person just had a really long explanation for saying, we're being frustrated about him being slow. He does look really stiff as he's running. Typically when I see people that are really stiff as they're going from the side, they look good, but when you look at them from the back, they have too much rotation happening within the hips, and then therefore are just very straight in the upper body to compensate for the stiffness that they have within the hips. And so what we'd want to be able to see here is the back view to be able to see what's going on within the hips, and probably want to be able to adjust something there. I will say, when we look at this one, his foot contact time on the left is pretty solid, right? 7.0, and then he's off by 8.0, which is not bad. But then we look at the right side, and he's really overextended there, and he's sitting at 9.3, and then at 0.3, he's still on the ground. So he has a little longer foot contact time on the right side, not as effective on that side. It looks like he's fine within the extension, but he might be, because it's harder to see on the left side from this angle,
you might be lacking some extension on that left side within the hip and therefore not generating as much force in the ground. Again, it'd be hard to see from this side. I have to see the back. But again, I think that because of the stiffness, I'd almost guarantee it has something to do with what's going on within his hips, and you have to be able to see that from either the front or the back. Here, I think there's a lot of things that are pretty good. He needs to better understand how to strike with the foot, how to strike within the ankles, probably need to get strong within the ankles, potentially needs to get even more balanced. All these things will be helpful in being able to improve overall top speed. It's hard to tell where he's at just because the video's in slow motion as well. So, like it doesn't look like the left arm is moving super well. But it's, again, hard to tell because I like to look more into like the foot strike and judge a lot of what's happening within like the foot strike and the cycle of the leg. So when the video is not normal speed, I can't really see what's going on there. Just not great hands, not great arms, right? Where you don't want to be getting that chest so high. We don't want the action to be like you're beating down on a drum. We really want to be almost hammering back behind you. A lot of good things that we're seeing here in terms of the foot strike and the leg cycle, but we're really losing a lot of force with being so stiff within those hands and having so much bend within the elbows. There needs to be more coordination with the shoulders and with the hips as you're running. 12 years old, running 13.1. It's not bad. Let me see here. Doesn't look like he has great landing mechanics. Looks like he's going to be setting himself up for a little bit of shin splints here. Again, this would be a good example of somebody that we'd like to see from the back to be able to get a better understanding of what's happening as that foot striking the ground. So then we'd be able to help correct that. Obviously, we only are seeing a few steps here, so it's hard to see, and it's very blurry too. So there's not much to see other than just what we already pointed out. That looks pretty fast. Good job landing on the left side. Not great stability though. As he's landing, a lot of bending there. Right side really turned out. Okay, so he's going to end up spending a lot more time with that foot on the ground. Ends up going and pushing off with that foot too far back behind. Doesn't have a great knee bend as that foot comes back off behind. So he's going to end up being stuck with his not being able to create very much force on that right side. He's going to end up having he's fast. He's pretty good, but it's going to be, hard for him to get much faster. He's going to have to really work on some of the things he's doing within his acceleration to make it so he can get more effective at being able to get that toe up and through. Probably has some tightness within his hip internal rotators would be my guess. Potentially even that right ankle ends up being a little bit stiff. Would want to be able to address that. Top end speed endurance. And you're running the 60. Come on, man. Let's be real here. So we are just not accelerating well. Right, so this doesn't have anything to do with top end speed endurance. This is everything to do with how fast you're out of your drive phase, right? You're the first person out of your drive phase, and it's not even close, okay? And because of that, everybody else is still accelerating while you are at top end. So it has nothing to do with your ability to hold top end speed. It has everything to do with your ability to accelerate and understand the principles necessary in acceleration to be able to run fast. So there's top end speed criticism. Left arm is not very effective. Way too much extra action happening within that left hand. Right arm's pretty good. Need to work on your neck. You have too much happening within your head. Once you get that down, you'll be better. You probably need to strengthen your low back as well. Get a little bit more range within the low back would be a good thing too. I'd say definitely check out my program. I'd help you out a lot. Not improving, just turned 16, ran 150 at 1763. Okay, a lot of stuff. So we're in lane 4, we're wearing purple. 200 meter race, not a very tall person to be running the 200. Not great bending the elbows, landing on the heel. Boom, heel strike. That's going to kill you. Can't be running fast and have a heel strike, period. Not bad with your backside mechanics, though. Just have to really work on how you're landing. Landing too far on the outside on your left foot, landing on your heel on the right foot, you're going to end up not running fast. Could actually be a lot faster, though. That's pretty good for if you are already doing well. Some of you guys have just like the longest explanation. What are you saying here? What are you wasting your time talking about? Overall, I think I primarily need to increase my strength and my power to get to that 21 to 22 sub 11. My standing vert is around 31 inches and broad is on 93. Yeah, I mean, come on, man. What are you talking about? Let's not talk so much about all your problems, okay? I mean, we don't really care about your problems. We care about your freaking solutions. We care about the hard work that you're putting in to get over your problems. We don't care about your problems. There's so many people that are so whiny, want to talk about all the things that are wrong and all the issues that they have. And when, poor me, poor this, poor that, just get the fuck out of your bed and get to fucking work. Stop fucking complaining about all the things that are wrong within your life. Side tangent. But I would say let's get a little bit more extension within your arm here. I'm assuming that you're the guy in front. Hopefully you're the guy in front. Yeah, just not efficient with the arms, not getting enough extension in the leg as it's coming through, probably a little bit tight within the hamstrings. Don't look very strong in general. I'd say you definitely need to get a little bit stronger, a little bit thicker. And yeah, I mean, we got to get a pullback with the hands, okay? I mean, when you watch yourself running, if we're not getting the thinkies back, then you're not doing enough with the hands. You're not doing enough with the shoulders. You're limiting your range of motion, right? If you're limiting your range of motion, hard to run fast. Wasn't my fastest race, but a representative of this, that, boom, 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 blah, 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 blah. Well, looks like you're landing on your heel. Okay. So you're going to have too long of a contact time. Not bad on that one. A little bit slow with your foot coming off the ground. A little bit slow with that heel. Yeah. I mean, we need to land more on the front part of your foot. We're a little long with the arms, too. We don't need to be stuck in so much extension. We need to be a little bit quicker with that pullback, be able to transition off a little bit sooner. Spent my entire summer from June to could not single fly due to a back injury, so I had nothing to record. Now, drop to a 106. I'm going to get faster, too short of a stride. None of pull in the arm. I feel like a broken record. Everybody has the same freaking problems. I'm making note of this. What everybody's having an issue with. This is pretty good. Looks like you kind of overextended there. I like it that you're running in the snow. This is somebody that's saying, I don't give a shit about any of these problems, any of this or that. They're getting out there, getting after it. I like it. You just need to work on those hip flexors, it looks like. Keep working on the rhythm of that left arm. Pull a little bit more straight back with that left arm. Stay with that acceleration phase, too. Don't get caught up getting into your top end speed too early. You need to work on that acceleration. Build your speed for longer. If you're having a hard time maintaining top speed or getting to a top speed, quote unquote, I would say look at your acceleration phase. Look at your drive phase. What are you doing in your drive phase that could be slowing you down? This is going to be the last one I'm going to do here. The one in red, accelerate pretty quickly. Feel like I have a powerful start. The one in red, there's a couple people in red. What did I say? It's the person that got passed up there. All right. So, yeah, you got out pretty quickly, but how you got out wasn't very effective. And looks like, again, another person just landing on their heels. Right? So, even though you got out pretty good, I mean, you're landing on the heels on each one of your steps, not getting the hips through, not getting tall, and therefore you're getting passed up. You know, like you can get a few steps out in front pretty well, but if you're not getting the ability to transition through and get to your acceleration phase properly, get into your top end speed properly, you're going to end up getting passed up. And that competition didn't seem like it was very good either, to be honest with you. So I would say that you have a long way to go within your training and your development. What do we get here? You know, the one who got 7.2. Well, you know, got to be able to work on that acceleration. Got to be able to get better within that part of your running. There's a lot of things that can get better. Join my program. You know, like another person, just join the program if it's something that matters to you, right? Like if running is something that really matters to you and it's something you really care about, then you got to commit to it. If it's not, then don't, you know, go into these videos. Don't make these videos and seek out for, you know, help if it's just a hobby. Okay. Eventually you're going to have to commit to something. I have a bunch of different options, a bunch of like things that you can get for free, obviously, watching my YouTube videos, doing my workouts, doing the workouts that we post online are all free options. And then we also have paid options that are not very expensive that can be very beneficial for you. So check those out. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, comments, recommendations, leave those down below. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you soon.